In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to read scholarly or academic sources and where they might be useful in your paper. Scholarly sources are written by experts in their field. Their audience is oftentimes other experts in the same or similar fields. For instance, social psychologists and sociologists might write about similar subjects and be interested in each other's work. This means that the language in academic articles can sometimes be jargony or discipline-specific, and therefore difficult for the everyday reader to understand. Luckily, most academic articles, no matter what subject area they're written in, tend to follow a certain pattern or format. When reading an academic article, the first section you're likely to see is the abstract for the article. Next, you'll likely have an introduction section followed by a description of the project or experiment. Then, you'll probably see a results section and a discussion or discussion of results section, and a conclusion, and then a list of the sources that the author used in writing their article. As an example, let's take a look at 3 different articles. One about fast fashion. Another one about Instagram influencers. And this one about should college athletes be paid. As you can see, these articles don't all have the exact same sections, but they do share many that are alike. They all have an introduction. These two have a methodology section, while this one has a discussion section. And all 3 have conclusions. The source of your academic article can also help you understand what it is about. For instance, the fast fashion article is from the journal Fashion Theory, and it's specifically about kimono production in Japan. So it makes sense that as you read the article, terms specific to fashion theory will be abundant. If you are going to write about whether college athletes should be paid, it's not surprising that the bulk of articles written on that topic are published in law reviews. It is, after all, a topic that would be influenced by the outcome of court cases. The last thing that I'll say about these 3 examples is that they are all very specific. The influencers article is about hypersexualized Instagram images and different types of influencers. The fast fashion article looks at different case studies of kimono manufacturing in Japan, and the paid athletes article is about a specific case brought by one college football player. That is to say, you might not use these types of sources at the beginning of your research process, but rather later on as you are narrowing your research question. Like I said earlier, scholarly articles can sometimes be difficult to understand, so my best advice is if you're having trouble, skip to the discussion or conclusion section of the article. This section will most clearly state the findings of the article and tell you why it is important. Now, how do you use academic sources in your paper? That's a good question, and not necessarily an easy one to answer. While statistics or short bits of information might be useful as a direct quote, larger ideas or concepts from an article might be easiest to convey if you paraphrase or summarize them. The section of the article that the information came from may be an indicator of how you utilize the information in your paper. For instance, you might use information from a conclusion section of an article in a different way than you would, say, from a data collection section. Again, if you're unclear on what was important in the article, in conjunction with the abstract, make efficient use of the discussion and conclusion sections of the article. And if you have questions about anything, please ask your friendly librarians. You can chat with us through the website or give us a call. To chat, simply click on the Ask a Librarian button at the bottom left and fill in your information.